and welcome to the Caffeinated Cast-Ons YouTube channel. My name is Therese, also known as Caffeinated Cast-Ons. Welcome. It has been a little bit. I took an unintentional break, but it was needed, okay? And it's good to take a break whenever you need it. We care about mental health over here. Let me back up and say it is Sunday, February 23rd. I am on my second cup of coffee for the day and thought it'd be good to catch up. So this is my YouTube channel, if you're new here, where I talk about my knitting. Think of it as a video version of Ravelry project pages. So I'm going to take you through projects I'm working on, any notes, things like that. You can find me on Instagram as @CaffeinatedCastOns, and then I'll link any Ravelry project pages that I talk about, or excuse me, of the projects that I talk about down below. Yeah, so I took a bit of a break. Life was lifing and was feeling a little low. So I wasn't really in the mood to talk about my knitting. I did get some knitting done, just wasn't in the mood to talk about it, but feeling better. And so thought I would share my latest knitting with you. As I mentioned, I'm on my second cup of coffee for the day. Just some cold brew and creamer. Let me make sure I'm situated and we can get started. I've got two finished objects for you. The first one is a square for an Afghan that I am working on. So I finished my square. It is blocked. Now I just need to attach it to the rest of my Afghan so I can get that overall object finished, because that is my longest running whip right now, since I was working over it over the course of a year. This is the last square that I need to attach to the Afghan, and then I can finish up the border and everything. So I'm super glad to have this off my needles and make more progress on that. The yarn, I can't remember. And the needle size, I can't remember. I'm gonna say it's like a US 10.5 or 11. And unfortunately, I can't link this one down below because the pattern is only available through the class that I took. So I can't provide that.
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Sorry, my husband just walked in. But yeah, so the Afghan itself is you're building it block by block, and each square is a different, oh, look at that, is a different like stitch texture, and then you seam it all together and it makes an Afghan. So this is the final square, 12 out of 12 squares. And if you watch previous episodes, I didn't like what the pattern was doing. And so I just ripped it all out and cast on a different texture that I've already done before in one of the other squares. I just made sure that this square wasn't going to be next to that pattern, just because that's something that would have bugged me, and then just finish that. So it has been blocked. Now I just need to attach it to the rest of the Afghan. My next finished object is a pair of vanilla socks. Look at how fun these are. I love these so much. I followed the Crazy Sock Ladies pattern, which is vanilla socks on 9-inch circulars. I did a German twisted cast on, which I can't remember if it's in her instructions or not, but I do a German twisted cast on for just a little bit of extra stretch in the cuff. 2x2 ribbing. I think I did 20 rounds. Can't remember the count I did for the leg. And then I added in a contrast color. It's like this purpley brownie, purplish brown color, and did that for the toe and heel. And let's talk about the rest of the yarn, because I have a good amount left over and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet. The main color, sorry, hold on. Where's my label? The main color is a really old Yarnable. I can't remember what year it's from, but the colorway is Laughs More, Worry Less. And it is a plush sock base, which is an 85-15 blend of superwash merino and nylon. And then the contrast color is, oh wait, hold on. Sorry, I'm kind of a mess today. It's been a while. That's what happens whenever it's been a while. The contrast color is Euphoria Knits, and it was a 20-gram mini, so that's why the label is small. Oh, it's upside down. That's why the label is small. It was a 20-gram mini. And this is the colorway Espresso. This is how much is left over, which is, got my scale. Let's see. 8.3, yeah, 8.3 grams left over. And then this is how much, well, that's not accurate. I split the skein in two because I did work the socks concurrently. So this is how much of each one is left over, which one ball is 28.2 and the other one is 27.7. So about the same, about 28 grams each. So I will probably put one in my scrappy DK jelly blanket, and I'll probably gift the other one to my friends who are doing scrappy blankets. This, not sure yet. I don't know if I'll keep it for more contrast heels, toes, cuffs, and socks. Or if I'll end up throwing it into the blanket or magic knot ball. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but one of those for sure. Yeah. But worked on 9-inch circulars, US size 1. And then I just switched to my 32-inch circulars to work the toe decreases magic loop. Those are pretty fun. I just love the contrast so much. Like there's really not any set purple in this sock, but there's like the browns and the pinks. I think it just goes so well. Really love how those came out. Yeah, so that was my last finished object for the week. My work in progress. Well, I have a new cast on, so I guess that is true. Anyways, I have been working on a Cumulus blouse since like maybe the first week of January, I think. My goal this year for garments is to knit at least one garment. Not at least. I want to knit one garment a quarter. So right now, February is almost over, so I have like about a month left to finish this just to stay within my personal goal. And this is my Cumulus blouse, which I have made so much progress. Sorry, the dog. Since the last time I showed you this, and I'm so excited to show you the progress that I've made. So last time I showed you this, I was working on the body length and contemplating starting the sleeves, I'm pretty sure. Well, I finished the sleeves, not the whole shirt yet, but I've got a sleeve finished and did the I-cord bind off. And then sleeve 2 finished with an I-cord bind off. And now I'm just finishing the rest of the body. It's a little hard to show, but the stitch marker here is like the last progress I did on the body before casting on the sleeves. And I've got a good amount done this past week, like from here to here. I think I'm very, very close to having the body the length that I want. I need to try it on with a couple of different pairs of pants to make sure it's going to be how I want it, and I know this will grow a little bit when blocking. Yeah, but very excited for that. And then after the body, I just need to go back and pick up the neckline and do the I-cord for the neckline, which I need to make some decisions on the neckline. It's at a fine length because it is a V-neck and it's fine the way it is, but I think just for a little more comfort and security, I do want to seam up maybe 2 to 4 stitches just for a little bit more security. I feel I'd like it a little bit better. Not that it's showing cleavage or anything. I think I would just like it if it was a little less. And I don't know if I want to do that before I do the I-cord or do the I-cord and then seam up. I feel like the I-cord will hide the seam better, so that's what I'm leaning towards. Oops. Is seaming up a couple stitches and then going up and picking up and doing the I-cord. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm pretty sure. But y'all, it looks so good and I'm just so amazed at the yarn and how it knit up. Which, speaking of the yarn, this is Pearls and Postulates on their Harris sock base. And the color is, Escape Velocity. And the Harris sock is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. The Cumulus Blouse, if you know the pattern, it calls for lace weight held double. And it's looking for a fluffy lace. So like merino or not merino, mohair, just anything fluffy, which I didn't have and I didn't want to do for this shirt. I wanted it to be something more lightweight that I could wear in Texas's majority of the time warm weather. Something that I could easily layer. I could wear like a white tee underneath or still put a jacket on instead of like having to deal with like a bulky sweater. Yeah, so that's what I went with. So I'm only holding fingering weight single. Look how beautiful. I think this is my favorite yarn that I've ever knit with. Just the color. I love it so much. I got 3 skeins of it at DFW Fiber Fest last year. Here's an intact skein. And since I'm only holding this single, I went up a needle size. I am knitting on a size US 8. Oops, sorry. I'm knitting on a US size 8 and holding it single. And it's going really well so far. I did not swatch, but I've been trying on as I go. I believe whenever I measured, like I knit pretty much like all of the yoke. Like I did the V-neck shaping, knit the yoke, and right before it was like, oh, okay, now you're gonna, I forget how many inches I knit. But I measured that and I'm only off the gauge from the pattern by like half a stitch, not even a full stitch, half a stitch. And so I felt pretty good continuing not to swatch, which is interesting that I chose not to swatch because I only bought 3 skeins. And it's crazy how far these 2 skeins, so this is the second one, has gone in this project. To have long sleeves, and I'm knitting a size large. I don't know if I've said that, but I'm knitting a size large. And this yarn is going far, let me tell you. So I recommend just a plain fingering weight version of this if you are looking for something that is a bit more light wear, not a full-on sweater, especially with the V-neck, because like I don't like turtlenecks or anything going high up on my neck. So this is a great option for a neckline. But yeah, I really recommend. I did get frustrated at first just because some of the instructions were just ever so slightly unclear and I was getting frustrated. But once I got past that, it's been going really great. So I think definitely this week I'll finish the length of the body and bind off on that for sure. Right now I just have it on stitch holders so I can try on. So I'll probably do a try on today. I did one last night. But like I mentioned, I do want to try on with a couple of different pairs of pants just to make sure like I'm going to like it no matter which way I wear it. And then I can finish the body. So that'll soon be a finished object. Fingers crossed. I do have a new cast on in this cute knit pearl bag. This is by Prep Eclectic. And I cast on a pair of socks. Oops, little messy. So far I only have, oh my gosh, let me do one at a time. So far I only have a cuff of each sock. Like, look how different those two sides are. This is mostly pink and this is mostly green. And I'm working these magic loop. Here's the other one. I can tell this yarn is going to be so much fun to work with. I guess I'll shift the yarn. The yarn is Madeline Tosh on their Twist Light base, which is a 75-25 mix of superwash merino and 25% nylon. And this is the colorway Nudie Suit. This was their show colorway for Fiberfest, DFW Fiberfest 2 years ago. So I think 2023, I'm pretty sure. But here it is in a messy cake. And then the other half is in a ball. I split the skein so I can work both socks at the same time. To me, it makes it go by faster. And these are going to be a pair of Rhinebeck Roomies. I think that texture is going to be so fun for how much is going on in this skein because the colors are so good and like some of it's speckled in there. I really love it. I'm excited to see them worked up. So I cast these on, I don't know, sometime in the past 2-3 weeks. And I'll be really excited to see the texture and like what happens to the yarn with that. So not too far on these. I'm hoping now that I finish the pair of vanilla socks, like these are the only other socks that I have going right now. So I'll be excited to get these going and just be really excited for this to knit up. When I'm working on those on a US size 1 for all my socks, whether it's like magic loop or 9-inch circulars, I am working on a US 1. And that pattern, Rhinebeck Roomies, is a pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady. Okay, those are the only projects that I have going on right now. So just 2 whips happening, 3 if you count the Afghan, which I technically have it in like hibernation, but now that I finished the last square, I think it's definitely going to come up to the surface so I can get that done. So like I mentioned, like this week I do want to get this attached. So let's just go and talk about goals for the rest of the week. So I do want to get, number 1 is get this attached and start working on the border again for my Afghan. Goal number 2 is to finish the body on my Cumulus blouse. And then goal number 3, I think for the Rhinebeck Roomies, I want to get halfway. Here's the dog. Hi, Piper. For my Rhinebeck Roomies, I think I'd like to get at least halfway through the leg. I can't remember how long the leg is, or if I want to make the leg shorter or longer. I need to relook at the pattern because I don't remember how long the leg is. But I like to get maybe halfway on those. I kind of do want to cast on another project. I don't know what yet, or I can start thinking about what I want my next garment to be since we've got about a month left in the first quarter. And I would like to get another project or another garment going, or think about what it's going to be for the second quarter. I'll probably do something short sleeve, more summery. I do have some cotton yarn that I've been wanting to knit with for a while. And I think that'd be good going into spring, summer. Yeah, I think I have an idea, but I haven't fully committed yet. Yeah, what else? Reading, watching, listening. I finished The Radium Girls, which is a book all about radium and the women. It's all about following the women who worked with it, like painting the dials during the war, and like the side effects it had on their body, what they went through. They're trying to like win a court case against the company and the manufacturers that they worked for, and everyone was dismissing them. It's super, super fascinating. So if you like history or things like that, I think you would really enjoy this book. It took me a little bit to get into it because the beginning is kind of setting everything up, like setting the background for like what is going on in the world and like introducing who the women are, because a lot of them are related. But I really enjoyed it. It's not my typical genre that I go for, but it was really nice. What else? And now I'm reading Only for the Week, which I cannot remember the author off the top of my head. It is a little bit spicy, and by a little bit I mean a lot, but it also talks about like family issues and dynamics, which I thought was a really interesting balance there. I'm almost finished with that and then not quite sure what I'm going to read next. Watching, so I can't remember if I've said this or not. I think I have, but I am watching Criminal Minds right now, and I can't remember how many seasons there are total, like 12 at least, I think. I'm in season 3 right now, and it's been really fun to see the show grow. People are going through a lot. Some people have already left, new people have come in, and I think I still have a couple people who are gonna leave, I'm pretty sure. Just, okay, that's something that gets on my nerves. Whenever, like I'm watching it on Hulu, and the thumbnail, like of the cast, like the thumbnail of the show has different people than the first episode. Well, I'm like, well, that kind of has a spoiler. Like I know these people are leaving. So that's kind of annoying. Just the ever so slight rant. I'm like, well, that kind of like ruins stuff for me. Like, I don't know. Super random. But watching that and Severance, it's so good. So very interested to see how the season is going to end. I'm not sure how many episodes are in this season. Yeah, but we just watched the newest episode yesterday? I can't remember when. This past weekend. What else am I watching? I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah. That's all I have for you this week. I know we had a couple of weeks without each other, but my brain just needed a break. I really just dove in to my knitting and reading and just needed that time for myself. So yeah, I know it's been a little bit, but I appreciate you coming back if you are a subscriber or a returning watcher. And then if you're not subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to get better about posting more over there on the grid and just in stories to like do little tidbit updates of what I'm working on. Let's wrap it. Oh, you know what? I don't think I've talked about this. This is the, oh, what is it called? No Sweat Cozy. It's a free pattern, I'm pretty sure. This is my modified version of it. The other one is made to fit like a very large coffee. I did a modified version of it where I shortened it so it could fit like on a shorter cup. But I'll have that link down below as well. But let's do some 3 simple joys and we're close her on out. Simple joy number 1 is just the quiet time and the mental break that I took. I don't know if it's because the weather and it was cold and gloomy for like a week here in Texas, and we've had just a lot of below freezing days, or just what it was, but I just needed a break, and it was so nice to just unplug and not really worry about it, because it's very easy for me to compare myself to actual like knitting influencers, who seem to have it together. I know no one has it together, but I got caught up in that for a little bit. And so I just needed a break just to really enjoy my knitting and knit for me. So that was super nice. So very thankful for that. That break was very much a joy, even though I still was kind of feeling down, but I needed that recharge. Simple joy number 2 has been actually getting ready for the day. I work from home full time, and it's easy to stay in your sweats or pajamas, not do anything to get ready. It's very nice, but I think part of that contributed to like my need for a break. And so I've been trying to get ready every single day this past week, and let me tell you, it makes a difference. And then simple joy number 3 is the nice weather that's about to roll in. As I mentioned, we've had like a lot more like wintry days this past like week and a half. This past week we had we had probably like 48 hours where we were below freezing, which this time of year, and especially in North Texas, is hit or miss. Like it's either super nice or everything is iced over. Like you really don't know what you're gonna get. Luckily, there was no snow or ice, but it was very cold, very gloomy and drizzly. So I really am looking forward to the nice weather that is coming. We had a beautiful day yesterday and today. Like I actually got to go out for a walk yesterday. It was so nice. So very thankful for that as well. That's all I've got for you. Thank you so much for watching. And the plan is to see you next week. And so just thank you for the kindness and grace for not posting every week consistently. I try to be as consistent as possible, but we roll with it. So until next time, stay caffeinated.